Hello everyone. Well, today I've chosen something different, something more onto our regular exercise portrait. So let's do a frame. Let's frame the portrait. And let's frame the portrait. That's good enough. That's one. It's about 20 centimeters, not 25 centimeters. Okay. Let's start. Before I do anything else, let's do the round bit of the portrait. So let's see that before I do anything, just do the roundness of the portrait. Chin, cheek, it's a little girl, forehead, and then skull. That's hair in the middle, and then the skull. And then you have hair just ends up here. The ear just goes somewhere here. And then the jaw. And you've got the neck coming right close by the jaw. Neck. And then you have a little bit of shoulder here. Neck, shoulder, and then the neck on this side. It's called chubby cheeks. And then you have chin. Before I do anything else, the nose it's under the end of her ear. That's where you have the nose. The end of her nose, as I said. Chin, end of her nose, and then the lips are just in between. Whilst I'm here, I don't have to be too involved with the lips. It's way too early. And the eyebrows basically are right in the middle. Is it in the middle? Almost. Yes, it's in the middle. So the eyebrow, so what I've checked from here, from the eyebrow to the top of the head is right in the middle are the eyebrows. So right in the middle here. But there's an inclination of the eyelid, of the eyebrows there. Okay. You have that inclination here because she's the face is 3/4, of course, and you have it turned this way, looking towards us. The eyes, and it's 3/4, and it's tilted. The head is tilted as well. Then you have the hair moves out a bit. Hair here. Then the hair goes very dark here, and then you have some background showing, and you have, as I said, the skull coming here, right here, and then the end of the skull, as I said, that's the middle between eyebrow and the end of the skull. Eyebrow to the chin is from the eyebrow to the top of the skull is the eyebrow to the chin. Eyebrow to the chin, and then doing the eyebrow here, and then the eye socket. I'm squinting my eyes and I'm seeing a really darker shade here. And this area is also her right eye, or left as we look at the portrait. The nose, shadow. The nostrils are within this shadow. I don't want to get, again, it's somewhere here, but I don't not get involved at this stage. It's way too early. And then before you do anything else, you have the hair, which comes right at this angle. There. Ear, neck, shoulder, neck, shoulder, and a little bit more chubby cheeks. So we get in closer and closer to the shape of the face. Again, that's the most important thing, is the shape of her face. And that will bring us slowly to the likeness. And the gesture, as I said, she's tilted this way. She's tilted this way. Now, you got the line which defines from the tear duct to the eyebrows, and then a dark shadow, then the eye here, eyelid, and the other eyelid is at exact same horizontal space line, so it's there. So that brings this eyebrow very close to the eye, but that's where the eye is anyway. There you have it. And the distance between the two eyes is, let's measure it, distance between the two eyes is from the nose to the eyebrow. So from the nose, the end of the nose, to the eyebrow is the distance between the two eyes. There. So here. There. But this is under a wider shadow. There you are. Now that makes her look a little bit angry, so get rid of this patch of dark here. Then hair, well, more than hair, I'm seeing it as a shadow. I'm not looking at it like hair, but I need a dark shape here which will cover this area. And then a little bit darker here and darker underneath. And the darks comes right here. Darks come from the hair, moves down the cheek, and it stops here. And you have the cast shadow of the head onto her neck. Not to forget this line, this is our limit. So that's her cheek here. Okay. Sorry, chin. Did I say cheek? Yes, it's chin. You know what I mean. And then the jaw, which comes right here. Okay. else can we do here? And you have the lips. From one side to the next, you have, so from one side to the next, the lip, and just above this nose line, the end of the nose, or the nostril, sorry. She's got like her lower lip is being tucked under the upper lip. So the lower lip is being tucked under the upper lip. Now I think I need to increase the distance in between these two eyebrows. There you have it. And that dark shadow, it's the shadow which can be merged with the hair here. So see, I'm losing the line of the hair here. I'm losing it and bringing it to the eyebrow. And then you have the eyelid. And the upper line of the eyelid, where the eyelid actually what's that line here between the eyelid and the bone structure? You know what I mean. And it's here. And a little bit more of an eyelid here. And then some darker line, or that shadow which moves in to her forehead, and that is, it could be connected with a softer shadow here, with a softer shadow there. There you have it. Okay. Now, her eyes, or at least this one, it's slightly smaller in size. The eyelid, white of the eye, and then that half tone, which brings us right at this point here. Okay. Giving a kind of a scratching half tone here, but that works. That really works here. And also a tiny amount of middle tone could be spread on the cheeks and by the end of her lips. Okay, so far so good. Now let me measure the distance, or the, let me see, the not the distance, well, yes, you can say the distance. So the width of her head is the same as from the head to lower the cheek. I'll measure it here. So the width of her head is same as top of the head to the above the upper lip. Okay, so from here roughly to here is the same as from top of the upper head, the top of the head and above the upper lip. Let's see if that's the case on me. Wow. It's the case. Good. Okay, that's important. So we have the measurements correctly and we can carry on now. A bit darker hair here and a little bit of hair showing here, and chubby cheeks, and beyond chubby cheeks you got a bit of a background shadow. See? Bit of dark background shadow here. Hello, back again. Bit of a break I had going out with Milo, and let's go back to our drawing. So let's get a little bit softer the edges here, softer those edges, getting a little bit darker on this cheek on the right side, on the right hand cheek here, and also a little bit of neck. The neck, I think the neck needs to be a little bit further out. That sort. There you have it. And then darker here. And increase or make a little bit more sharper. Not sharper, but change that edge of the chin. Sorry, of the jaw. A bit more rounded. That's it, more rounded here. And then as I come along here, a little bit softer. Okay, I think it's better now. But then, because the light is mainly concentrated on the top of her nose, which is here, you could get away with some darks here. And leave, you see that? Leave that little tiny highlight on the nostril. Now the nose, as far as I can see, the nose is not straight here. It's not straight horizontal. It's slightly so that nostril is higher than this nostril. There you have it. And then worked here. A bit of darker there. Okay. Still is not exactly what I wanted, but I'll leave it for the time being. And then I think, yeah, what I wanted is that I think I need to get that nostril a little bit out, wider. That's better. And then get this. I can use the stump really. Why I'm torturing myself, I can use the stump here. So use the stump. So I'm using the finger, which is very thick there. The stump will do a more precise job. And then softening. Soften it here. Softening. Softening here. And then soften those edges, and then you can create some. I'll take some dust. I'll take some dust. Dip my. Move the stump this way, and then spread it here. Now, but how dark should I go? That's the whole idea. That's the whole thing here. The darkest dark is here. That's the darkest dark, and that's far away from the eye. So it's roughly where it is now. That's the darkest dark. And the second dark comes around here. And then a bit of background. Also a bit of work on the background. You see, by doing this, I'm actually darkening the background and giving more importance and more highlight here on the cheek. But also the cheek is not entirely bright, is illuminated from the light. Oops, sorry about this. It's the phone. I'll mute it. I muted it. And I have this bit of forehead here showing. Darks here. And on the forehead. Oh, sorry about that. In the middle of winter here. I'm making a child with a massive head. Or so it looks. Might not be. Let's highlight a little bit of the eyebrows. The eyebrows will give you more of an accurate reading here. Again, that was Milo. Going and highlighting the eyebrow, the eyelid, the eyes. She does have really dark eyes, girl. Possibly brown eyes. It looks a little bit further back here. There you have it. Okay, and let me see. Here. The mouth could go this way. The mouth could go. And then brighten. Softly moving some highlights here. These are half tones that I'm using here. Really, really half tones. The darkest dark is here, right here. And down here. And I think the chin needs to be moved a little bit more towards the left. Yes, move the chin towards the left a bit more. Okay, leave a stump, get a little bit closer to the portrait, that will help. Okay, and now going back with, dropped all my blacks down here, all the charcoal. Better don't step on it because it will darken the whole floor. Anyway, my mistake. Now, highlight of the nose, darker patch here, and I could use it right here. I can use the dark patch to do that half tone here with my fingers, spreading like this. Darker tone of the upper lip onto the lower lip. Softening with my fingers, just spreading those darks all around here. Okay. And now the line that I'm doing here is not as sharp as what I'm doing at the moment, but it's for me to understand where I'm standing with the side of the portrait, the left hand side of the portrait. And a little bit of darks here. That's better because obviously it's creating a more of a stable shadow shape here. And the neck is a vertical line coming from here. It's there, something like this. And then you have the it's a dress, which is a white string here coming on the side on the right hand side. I don't have to go very a little bit darker here, darker there. Dark here. And the ear, if I squint my eyes, it's just a dark half tone. I mean, it's darker than a half tone, definitely. Very heavy. And right here. And then bring it, see, move the charcoal this way and create a very dark area here, which is where her hair obviously creates that beautiful shadow before you go up here, up on that side. Okay, and then half tone, and then bring that half tone here, like this, down this way. That's a good one. And I should leave that, those darks here, just move them about like this. There you have it. A bit sharper edges, dark, sharp edges, and a little bit darker here. That brings me to a nice ending here, and a softer approach on the background. Keep an eye not to darken it too much, otherwise it will compete with those shadows here on the child's forehead. There we are, okay. Play around here with a little bit of lines to make it look like hair. Some hair from the background, some hair and background just mixes up here. Right here, where the bone structure of the forehead is, and becomes sharp. It becomes sharp again here. And those lines, they do merge beautifully here. So the hair and the forehead, the skin tone, it almost becomes one. And a general darker tone here. Do you know, in children, or most children, I wouldn't say all because some children are different, but I would say most children, this upper part bulges out. Most children. So that's the case with this child here. I think I need to also make that forehead, which is left for us to be seen, or which is seen from us, it's also not that large as I'm doing it here. It's a little bit smaller. That's a hair here. Hair there. Here as well. And just to look more natural, just developing those little flicks of hair there to make it look again more natural. And let's give it those dark tones here. And eyebrow here. Now let me see. Now the eyebrow is definitely, there is an angle to the eyebrow here. Let me see. Whoa, yes it is. But the eyelid is not. So okay, now the eyelid of this eye is very much the same as the eyelid of that eye, but the eyebrow not, especially this part of the eyebrow. She's a bit like she's creating like she's raising, wondering what's going on. So that eyebrow is raised here. And the white of the eye, which is neither white, it's definitely the eye but not white. There. Okay, that's the black eye, the shine on the top of the eye, the shine here, and the upper eyelid. The upper eyelid. It's definitely raised this eyelid, but I've raised it a lot more. So let me bring it back to reality. I think it's way much more raised than it needs to be. There, that's a bit more appropriate. There. Now what that needs to be done, which I haven't done so far, is the upper lip, the V shape of the upper lip. That V shape here. And on the other side. There you have it. That's better, a bit more rounded. And the upper lip creates a cast shadow on the lower lip. There you are. Cast shadow all across to the lower lip. Okay. Now let's soften that, because that looks like a patch. So it doesn't look like a shade which is formed by her cheeks. It looks a bit like she's a bit getting dirty there. She's eating a chocolate or something. So let's get that and soften it. Soften it here. And then also soften that part here. And that shadow just goes lower lip is just vaguely there. It is and it's not there. That's better. The nose looks a little bit odd, very odd. So I better bring that a bit further up. There you are. A little bit that further up here. There. And that a little bit larger, wider. And here, a little bit of shading. Take some dark from here and add it on the top. All right, and some highlight here. See, that creates the other side of her nostril. Okay. So far, so good. Here, I could soften those darks a bit more. And what? Create... Oh, yes, this angle of her neck is actually very, very steep. Something like this. But then you have the loop, ear loop. There. So yes, there is a shadow there, but it's not very dark. Because if I do that shadow very dark, which is her neck, so her cheek, then how dark should I go on the hair? You see, that's the issue with putting darks very early on. It's better to put half tones. I say that to you because I should remind myself I should do the same. Instead of going straight like I'm going here, very, very dark, well, I'm going here because I do have half tones all across the face. So now is the turn for me to go dark here. But shouldn't go, or I shouldn't go, and you shouldn't go very dark very early. It's always better to go and work half tones constantly. Let me see, the neck goes right there. So the neck, if it was extended, would have been here and there. Neck and shoulder here. Here we are. And a little bit here. Bit more. Bit more wavy hair here. Some very dark vertical line down here, which frames me my hair. And you have the line at the top. Okay, now we don't want, because it starts looking like a veil that she's wearing. It's actually her hair. There you are. And there you have it. Okay. Beautiful child. Let me see, because it gives the impression that the hair is quite high. No, not really, not really. I'll check with the original image. Now, from the tip of from the chin to the eyebrow, chin to the eyebrow. Chin to the eyebrow. It's a bit, let me see, chin to the eyebrow. It's the same, yes. So from the chin to the eyebrow. Yeah, that's good. Not, it looks bigger, but it's not. I mean, well, it's the angle of the camera which looks a little bit also very weird here. And definitely some darker shades here. A bit more of a playful hairline. Now, with a putty, move it both sides, and then come and do those. The girl looks blonde, by the way, or very light brown. Then you have the forehead, highlight of the forehead. This is the first flicker of her hair, and then the whole of that light. It's basically like this. That's it. And then I can play around with the background here. I wouldn't brighten it as much as this part, so I'd leave that privilege to the hair to show, show the light of her hair, the light color of her hair. And then there you are. Okay. Bit of background. Bit more light on the cheek for the background. Now I think I brightened that too much, that area there. So softening. There you are, and that is a slight shadow which enters from the hair to her cheeks. That's it. And there's an area which goes like this. It just bends inwards. Yes, that's what it is. Something like this. It starts bending from up here, goes out again, moves back in again. There. And that is a little bit bright. So this flesh tone is really, really bright here. And underneath. And a little bit lighter there. Now that looks like a curl here, but it's not. Trust me, it's just a mistake. So move that out. Get rid of it. And the eyebrow should move down as well. I'll do that. The eyebrow moves, yes, down this way. And a little bit lighter here. And stress out a little bit more this highlight, sorry, not stress out, highlight this dark turn here. There you have it. Actually, it's the first time I do a child which looks younger than the original. When I do children, I do them always older. I don't know why. But it's one of those very few times which I get it younger. It's still not exactly the child, but it's a good drawing. Okay. Now, the eye, leave the charcoal, move in with the, sorry, with the, with the stump. Get those darks out of the stump and move in with less darks. So the eye, the white of the eye. There we are, white of the eye. And a little bit off. Back under the eye. The back under the eye. Okay. Now it's looking very strangely. Whoa. Very lucky. The iPad almost dropped down. Very lucky. Okay. Oh God. Change it once, I don't want to change it again. So dangerous to work with iPads. Okay, the eye looked a little bit cross-eyed, the girl. So let's move that eye out a bit more. That's better. Sorry, that was an accident. Oh, so worried. My iPad dropped. Okay, now it's better. Let's stabilize the iPad. Not going anywhere. Okay. Forget about this, that was not part of the deal. Slightly darker neck. We need to get that going. The neck is slightly darker than the chin. Otherwise, it doesn't create depth. It needs to create depth. There we are. And do you remember that trick? I'll show it to you. Background is a lot darker. And you remember that trick that I've said? Leave some highlights here, like we've done on the cylinder. There's some bouncing light coming from her white dress back to her neck. There you are. And some darker lines or darker shadows. Definitely makes sense, a little bit darker shadows. And here, soft on that, where the hair goes really close to the eyebrow. There you have it. And some soft turns, soft shadows moving up, especially here. also here. That makes the girl look light-haired. There you are. And a little bit of background merging with the hair. And the shadow underneath the nose, the cast shadow is important here. That's very important. That's it. And then let's emphasize this back under the eye. She does have that. Very slight, very light, but it is there. Now maybe I should raise a little bit that eye here. Eyelid. There you are, that's better. And the eye, and that little turn, that dark turn here. There you have it. Eyelid. And there. Okay. Softly getting the lip. Looks a little bit large. Getting it less large. Sorry, less narrower. My God, my English is deteriorating. I'm just talking to myself, that's why. A little bit of half tone here. Half tone. Maybe down. And that chubby cheek doesn't look normal there, so yes, let's cut it. Cut. There. Yes, more towards the normal size of things. Stabilize that part here because it was too, I just was jumping way too high. See, the difference is when you bring that line high, look, if I bring it up here, and she looks like, I've seen some documentaries about Anunnaki, and I'm sure that loads of you have seen it. It looks like alien with a large skull, or very, very tall skull, abnormal. And you don't want an alien girl here. Okay, now that is really light, but it's as light as the light underneath. That's it, underneath. So that area is as light as that area. I need to define it. Define. There you have it. And let's bring a little bit of highlight on the upper lip of the girl. There you are. And then some Sharpening of her upper lip. Sharpening of her upper lip. There it is, that's better. But now what I need some sharper edges here. Right. One here and the one there. And here as well. And a little bit of, not to be too sharp. Well, we're getting there. Okay, a little bit of break. A little bit of break, and then I'll come back. Hello, back again. Okay, a little break again. And let's go and tackle the hair on the girl. That little hair here. Make it a little bit more like strand. Less of individual hair and more of a kind of a bunch of it. Darken that flesh tone here, and then give her a little bit of a strange look, and she's thinking, oh, looking up, what's going on here? And she's looking towards the camera. And some highlights on the hair here. Not too deep, not too dark. A little bit of darker tonal value here. There on the top here. And also increase that tonal value everywhere. The eyes, eyelid, moving dark, and then eyebrow, a little bit less steep. I've done a corner here, and I think it's a little bit too angular, so less of an angular shape there. There you are. A little bit darker here as well. First of all, a little bit of eyelid to be more visible here. Then that darker shape, a darker line or darker flesh tone here on the eyelid and the upper part of the eyelid with the eyebrow, this area here. Okay, I think I went a little bit too dark there, but I can fix it by doing this. Look, that light area, it's extremely important. Keep an eye on that, because that separates the upper eyelid to the upper eyelid to the rest of the face, to her skull. Upper eyelid and then the skull, the cheekbone, as the cheekbone appears to be here. Now a little bit of white of the eye, slightly lighter, and what else can I do there? Cheek. The cheek is important. Just brighten that up. Cheek lighter. And then bring that up here. That's good. A little bit darker around here. And there you have it. And darker this. All of that area here. That gives a nice warm background there. Sorry about this. Okay, a little bit of the bag under the eye here. Don't think it's very much visible because it's such a small young face, but there is a little bit of a indication of that around here, the bag under the eye here. Eyelid, lower eyelid, and then there you have it. Okay, a bit darker, and also bring that, highlight this a bit more, right here. Back to the eyelid, round here, and the bag under the eye on the right eye. Done it on the left, now on the right. And bring the nostril a bit more rounded, and a bit brighter as well. Not only more rounded, but also a little bit brighter. As in, lighten up that acorn shape. There you have it. Darker round here. That will give me a little bit of a depth by doing this. There you go. Dark here. Darker here. And softly getting that line off. Now, I've highlighted this a little bit more. That's the shape of her neck. And that part of the neck where when you start having that little muscle coming through, muscle of her, the muscle of the neck, and softly creating that impression here. There you are. Okay, see that all that area, all this area is getting through to her neck, so that muscle goes there. But I can also bring a little bit of a line here because that's quite rounded, and I don't think it is as rounded as that. You'll see it in the original. There you go. Okay, now a bit darker here, a bit more highlight of, by highlighting that line, that makes the face, it shapes the face up a bit more. Now that looks a little bit like facial hair, and of course you don't want that facial hair to be seen on a little girl, so let's do it softly, move it along here, and creates a nice, beautiful, darker tone here. And with that line, get that line right there. That creates that neckline here. See, keep an eye on this, because what I'm doing actually, I'm creating a line here, which is the neck, but also you have hair coming this way. So the hair becomes one with the flesh tone. It's almost indistinguishable. Then you have the loop of the ear, jaw, and the neck. There you go. Now possibly I'm going to be too dark here. And also too dark here as well. Look, there you have it. And maybe increase that beautiful turn of a cheek in density, intensity, and darkness. And also darker here. All around is darker. And then here, see the line becomes one with the blonde hair. Again, that line disappears and it becomes one with the hair. These are the things you need to be careful and very aware of, because they appear and disappear constantly. The lines are not continuous ones. They appear and they become one with the hair at some parts, and then they reappear darker in other parts. Now that looks a bit like a wire though, you see, that's what I always say to you. Keep an eye on those lines, because I've done it like a wire. I've seen it many times. If it goes like this, look, it's like a wire and it doesn't function. It's like a collage. So softly merge those lines. That's much better. First of all, you can get darker that, as we normally do, and then come up with a putty, as we always said, and applied lines like this. Look, see, that's enough to give you that highlight on the hair and blondish look here of the girl. Bit of highlight on the forehead, another one there, and thin one, then hair. But that hair, it doesn't have to be done with the charcoal. You can do it with putty rubber. Look, there you are, here and there, and everywhere. Again, lost that line. You see, lost. Is becoming part of the background. And bring it back here, there. Here you have it. A bit brighter here. That creates a nice look, fresh look. Again, brighter the cheek, and that light comes right here on the corner of her eye, and actually goes inside the white of the eye here. There. Highlight, and a tiny highlight here. Less so, but yes, there. Okay, now how do I bring back the white of the eye? No, I don't need to bring it, but I can bring the lower eyelid here. Reappear down here. I hope she doesn't look like sinister girl now, but I don't think she does. A bit exaggerating here. Then you have the back under the eye. And here we are. Softly. And bring it to the tear duct, that highlight to the tear duct. There. And a little bit of the white of the eye, as if you wish. Let's do it this way. There. No more than that. And down here, and then down here. A little bit of highlight underneath. She looks happy. Highlights here in the corner. Look, break it, break the line here. Move it inwards like this, and merge the background with the hair. There you have it. Okay. I think she's looking cute. Now a bit of highlight on this side here. Okay. Just a tiny bit there and a tiny bit here. And also, that creates that look on her eyebrow. What? She's a bit like thinking, what's happening there? Why I'm being sitting here as a model? Okay, I think that eyebrow is a bit too thick for her. So clean it up a bit more with my fingers. Look. There you are. Okay. Good. Brighter. And kind of reflected light coming underneath. There you are. That's good, but I think that's way too bright. Also, I can brighten that shadow a bit more. I think that's a little bit too dark. And then lose that line here, you see? Lose the line there. There it is. And bring back the light in between the both lips and some highlight on her upper lip. Some highlight coming from underneath here. There you have it. And some highlight here. And some here. Okay. Smaller lips. I think it's a bit wider than me, so make it smaller. I mean, less wide. Not smaller, but yes, less wide. That's the word. Here. The lips are there. That's a better one. So it's tinier lips. Makes her cuter as well. Okay, that also could go a little bit darker. And darker here as well. And the upper lip creates a kind of a shadow onto the lower lip. There you go. Moves inwards, upwards, not inwards, upwards. The shadow, upwards, the shadow like this. There you have it. Okay then. Kind of she's got that happy look. Maybe exaggerated that a bit more. Trim that line above here, and she has that more of a relaxed than happy. That relaxed look more than happy look. And a little bit of highlight here. Reflected light. And squinting my eyes, I see here kind of a shadow coming right through. There. From the hair becomes forehead. From the hair goes to the forehead. Okay, I think that's good enough. Let me see, what's the date today? The 16th. See you on the next one then. Darker. So darken it up, darken it down. You will see it's a very nice effect. So darken the eye from the lower part instead of darken it upwards. Here, darken it down here. Sometimes try the opposite. See, it creates a very nice look. Very interesting look. Okay, folks, I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.